There are two kinds of people in this world. The people who fail to do what they know they should, and those who keep doing things they know they shouldn't. Guess what? You're both. Hi, I'm your host, life and business coach, Marcy Barker, aka your loving kick in the pants. In this podcast, I'll teach you the 6 steps of my accountability code that will help you wake up with clarity and show up with aligned action steps that make follow through easy and peaceful. All right, let's jump in. Hello, my beautiful people. I'm here with Christi Green Warr. And Christi and I met because we both teach water aerobics and fitness classes. We actually worked at the same gym for a long time and didn't really even meet or talk or anything. So it was kind of funny. I'm glad I get to know you now, and we teach and work together in a different capacity. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your stage of life.
So I am a mom to young adults, but I'm also a mompreneur. How hard that is to say, but I am the founder and facilitator of Dirt Learning, a play-based program that helps little kids explore life through hands-on experiences. And I'm loving every part of it. Yeah.
Can you brag a little bit about your space? Because the first time I showed up, I was like, holy moly, this is an amazing facility that you don't see any other preschools like that at all. So yeah, brag about your space for a second.
Yes, that is true. So I am blessed to have a lot of space. I'm a 4th generation dairy farmer's daughter. And when my dad got out of the business of farming, I ended up with land. So I'm on about an acre, a third or a 3/4 an acre, where the kids get to play outside most of the day. And then we built a garage in our backyard. So the basement of the garage is about 1,100 square feet, where the kids get to come inside when the weather is really bad, or we just need to change a pace and they can play inside. But I also built the building with intentions to have an upstairs space that's big open. Again, it's about 1,100 square feet. It's just a big open space for families to gather, for my teenagers to watch shows. We've hosted many family parties. I've rented it out for gender reveals and other people's parties and birthday parties and celebrations. So I just wanted to create a space where people could come together and connect in a safe, cozy environment.
Mm-hmm. And it now is like the ground where a lot of ideas are happening and a lot of big things are happening. And so I was just so impressed when I saw all of it. And I was like, this is amazing. Much different than everything out there. And so I'm just really happy that you are expanding and challenging yourself. Mostly that's what it is. Like, yes. You are already very successful, very good at what you do, but you're listening to that voice of like, I need to do this, or I know I can do this. And your whole focus is helping families through emotional challenges and emotional regulation to be happy and healthy and loving. And so what drew you in to the accountability code? What about it made you want to jump in?
Well, I've had some ideas rolling around as I wanted to build my program. Like I say, I'm celebrating my 20th year. I'm teaching this home-based preschool, and I wanted to do more. I wanted to start parenting classes and helping support the parents. I have a very tender heart for neurodiverse and understanding children on an individual level. And sometimes parents get stressed out and frustrated and don't understand their kids. And I wanted to be a support to parents to help them understand when my child's having a big emotion, what can I do to support them, or how can I help them understand the world when they see it a little bit different.
Yeah. Having 4 daughters, I remember a lot of comments from strangers that are like, oh, you have 4 daughters? I feel bad for you. Wait till they're all on their periods, blah, blah. And I was like, I refuse to believe that my life has to be hard because I have all girls. Mm-hmm. And I get to choose how I show up. I get to choose how to teach them. And I learned a really powerful lesson that they are 100% going to model how I behave. So when it comes to a parenting class, there's like 2 dynamics, because you're teaching parents who are not experts. They were never taught how to regulate their own emotions. And now we're all kind of thrown into parenthood with no handbook, mm-hmm. no instructions, no do or don't list. So you want to educate more people because, okay, so listeners, Christy has this amazing preschool, and when we started working together, we're like, okay, what's next? What do you want to do? And she had this amazing space, and I'm like, we can do classes here, and people will pay for this sort of information. So what is you? I don't even know my question anymore. I'm just like so enamored.
How did I want to, like, what is my focus on helping parents?
How do you bridge the gap when you're trying to teach parents to teach kids, but these parents never learned their own emotions? How do you teach them both at the same time? That's a great question.
Sometimes it's a little ninja mentoring that we're like, if you do this for your kids, it'll help your kids be more successful. But then they can relate. Then they're like, well, if my kids are doing what's good, I have a theory that's what's good for little kids is good for big kids. Like play is good for little kids, play is good for adults. So teaching your kids how to regulate their emotions also teaches a parent how to regulate their emotions and to label their emotions. In society, a lot of times, men especially, but not necessarily, people were told to shut down their emotions and not to express their emotions. And so we've held it all inside. So by talking about it and giving them permission to let their kids have their feelings, I also give them permission to share their feelings and to let go of their feelings that they have. And I give them a few tricks to bring up those emotions and let them go and fill them in with more positive emotions to help them understand themselves as well as help their kids. So it works for both of them.
You're creating a space for the parents, and they're ultimately, they always have a space to teach their kids. You're with them all the time.
Parents are their first educators, so.
I love that. You have a lot of expertise. You're very good at what you do. Hey listeners, the message of waking up and showing up is yours for the taking. In fact, it's free. I've recorded my entire audiobook, and I'd love for you to consume it between episodes. Head to marcybarker.com to get instant access to the accountability code Wake Up and Show Up. All right, let's jump back in. When it came to taking action on the business side, what was a wake up and show up moment for you?
That, like you just said, I have the expertise and I have that knowledge. I just need to be brave and courageous enough to share it with other people and to know that what I have and my experiences through raising a child that's considered neurodiverse and going through my relationship of being married 23 years, that I have information to share that can support and help other people. And so I was like, I have this, I've taught other classes. Why am I not adding the pieces that I feel were missing to this and creating my own program?
So what was that reason? Because now you have your own program, it's launched, it's in the works. What was that thing that was holding you back?
The courage to do it. That's why I just needed the accountability and the kick in the pants from Marcy to get me there, because it's something I had been thinking about and wanting to do. And it just was that support and Marcy saying, you can do this. Why are you not doing this? Let's put it together. And in a couple weeks, I threw this program together because it had been marinating in my mind. And I was brave and we did it. And I teach my kids to be brave. And I needed to step into that same role of being brave and trying something different and trusting myself.
Yeah, I loved it. And I especially loved we got together to do a power hour, a planning power hour. And I feel like we got a lot done in a very short amount of time. And it was amazing because you were all prepared. It was with the expertise and it was just the logistics. Okay, like how much is this going to cost? What is it going to look like? What's the childcare look like? What are the dates? When are you launching? What's your social media look like? Because a lot of times we do have all this expertise, but we just need the help of the part we haven't done yet, or the part you haven't studied for years and years and years. So what did your loving kick in the pants feel like?
It felt like the support and the encouragement I needed. So I have all this knowledge and stuff. But when Marcy said, well, let's sit down and go through it together, that was, we call it a kick in the pants, but actually it was more like a hand holding. Okay, I've done this before. Let me show you my process and let's walk through your process together. So we had everything put together. I brought my information, she brought hers, and together in that hour, we were able to bust this out. And 2 weeks later, I'm producing this course that is helping parents understand not only themselves, but their kids. But I couldn't do it on my own. that's where I needed Marcy's kick in the pants to be like, you've got this. Let's do it. Here's the process. Let's walk through it together. Let's use the accountability code. And here comes your program.
Yeah, results. Like, it's
Yes.
happening. It's real. It's not even an idea anymore. Not anything you're scared of. It's like, no, this is happening, and here's what you can pay to sign up, and I'll
Yep.
show you all the things. That's really amazing. As you were working through the material in the program, was there a specific story that helped you progress?
The story that you share about the path is correct for you really hit home, because you talk about planning and preparing yourself for what's to come and setting goals, like you and your family were talking about traveling. And then you had an opportunity, Kate, that came up to you that you're like, this is right for me, and I need to change my path a little bit to have this experience. And so I love that you talked about adjusting your course, because both courses were good. You just chose one thing over the other, but it still led you to high quality results and good success. And I love that. And the other part that you talk about that I love is you take a day to recover, a Sunday to relax and to regroup, because as parents and as business owners and of people living in the world, that is so crucial to take a step for yourself. And it just gave me that validation that I can stop for a minute, I can do the self-care for me and heal and still be a good business person, still be a good mom. I'm actually a better business owner and good mom, is because on my course, I choose to take time for myself and to rest. And I'm still having those successes, and those opportunities are still coming, but I am still resourced and ready to take that next step because I've taken care of myself.
Oh, I'm a firm believer of rest day for sure. But thank you for validating my choice, because when I had those two options, it was, yes, either option was hard. It was going to be a lot of work. They would produce different results, but yeah, I like that. I needed that reminder. So I should pull out my workbook again and just reread this story. And listeners, that's the beauty of the accountability code and this workbook, is that you can pick it up, look at the table of contents and say, what do I need right now? Do I need a little lesson on humility? Do I need a little lesson on implementing? And you can pull it out and do it. So I'm really proud of you for taking action. And I love being on the other side, and it's like, it's done. You're in the works. This big thing that you were scared to do, it's like, it's happening, and it's so natural for you because you are passionate about what you do, and it's just a matter of putting in the logistics. And I love that we have such a great community here to just keep going. And when people heard about your space, they're like, I want to do this, and it's there. And if you guys are local to West Haven, Utah, you have to check it out. Like, I got there and I was like, I want to play. I want to go play on that thing. I want to do some crafts, because I think they're, just like you said, what's good for a little kid is good for a big kid. And one thing I've had to work on recently is play, like allow myself to play. And so that's why here at this retreat, there's Legos upstairs for people to play with. So I really appreciate your example and your expertise, and I'm glad I get to work with you.
Thank you. I am glad that I chose in, because I've seen the results. So thank you.
If there are people listening who crave that loving kick in the pants or an increased ability to be accountable, what's one piece of advice you would tell them?
Be brave. It's what I tell my kids. Be brave, choose in, because you're going to get the results. And you're going to get the results on the level that you put in the work with anything you do. But you're going to get results. You're going to get the support. You're going to get a system that will support you and help you through this. You can just buy the workbook on Amazon. That's great. And you could go through it yourself. But having the team and the accountability groups that are part of this and the support is just the extra help to actually have you take action. So the book is wonderful, but also the groups and the support with Marcy's mentoring is much more valuable.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me be a piece of your journey and for reaching out to me. We teach at the pool, and I'm like, Christi, there's so many great people here. And,
yes.
And she's amazing in the water. She does stuff in the water that I'm like, I did not want to learn this because I do not want to teach this. It's hard stuff. She makes
It's
you
very hard.
move your legs with your hands all the way out of the water. And I was like, I thought I was a water aerobics instructor, but no, Christi is a water aerobics instructor. I'm just the one who dances silly on the side of the pool, and you just have to follow me because it's fun. So yeah,
I love it.
I value
love all those.
you. So thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Hey friends, I want to thank you for listening to this episode of Your Loving Kick in the Pants. If you got any value out of this episode, I would love for you to drop me a review or share with a friend what you learned. All right, I'll see you next Wednesday for Your Loving Kick in the Pants.